The following is the property of the estate of John Frederick McAlpine. For Jeff, Chapter 11. When Blue Review brought the three of us back, they put us on the little kids unit, supposed to be ages 5 to about 11. Tanya was around our age, but had never moved from the kids unit because they were used to this level of care. They also had more nurses, so they stuck us vent guys there, even though we were all 19, 20. This wasn't a very good idea considering our prior history. 3 rebellious teenagers, young men cursing and swearing around children. As a result, the nurses tried to crack down on our behavior. Let's just say our counter-reaction wasn't pretty. There was this guy, Dave, with cerebral palsy, sweet little kid, probably about 8 or 9 years old, and he took a liking to me. I like to talk to some of the little kids. It's kind of fun. Sometimes I had to be careful about my language when I was in earshot of him because he liked to copy me. He used to say a lot of Jesus H. Christ and oh my God. From the name, you might gather that Dave and his family weren't Christian, not by a long shot. I don't know if they were Hindu. Well, they were East Indian descent. I had to teach him that's bad. You can't say those things, especially in front of your family. I would get so mad at his family. Cerebral palsy is caused by a lack of oxygen during birth, messes up the motor center. Dave was a twin. His brother was perfectly fine. So as far as his family was concerned, they got what they wanted, one good kid out of it. Dave got stuck in Blue Review. I remember so many Friday nights, him all excited. I'm going home for the weekend. At 4 o'clock, 5, 6, 7, 8, no phone call. Finally at 9, the nurses would say, Dave, you got to go to bed. He'd start crying and screaming, no, I'm going home. Going home was so exciting for him, it was everything. They wouldn't even call. The nurses wouldn't get any notification that they weren't coming. That used to get me so angry. He was pretty high functioning compared to some of the other kids. He had no speech impediment whatsoever, very smart, but his physical impairments were fairly severe. There was this little guy, Jimmy. Jimmy had spina bifida, but he also had psychological complications. That's what they term as autistic tendencies. But he wasn't autistic. Too high functioning for that, too interactive to be autistic, but he had a lot of the traits. He knew the TV guide inside out. He liked to sit at the end of the hall in front of the window where he could see the intersection and the traffic lights. Red light, green light, watching the traffic lights. Really cute kid. He'd sing Jimmy Crack Corn, it was his favorite song, and was always making humming noises and shaking his head back and forth like Stevie Wonder. He liked drawing telephone poles and power lines because when he went in the car he was so short, that's all he could see out of the window, so he'd always draw them from his perspective. I was Skinny John. Jimmy just came out with it one day, and that became my name. Chris Copus became Super Chris. Copus and I liked to play with Jimmy. Even big bad Chris Copus had a soft spot for some of the little kids. Jimmy liked music, and the louder it would get, the more he'd freak out, waving his hands, yelling. Jimmy was very excitable. That wasn't always a good thing. When Jimmy got really excited, he could projectile vomit up to 10 feet. It was incredible. Copus and I were very good at telling when to clear the hell out, and Jimmy would just start firing. Jimmy had a very nice family. His mom started coming in 3 or 4 times a week. She'd bring snacks for all the kids. She'd help me turn the pages on my books. She'd help me and Copus eat, and a lot of the other kids. Really nice woman. Jimmy went in for back surgery and never came out again. He was about 9 when he died. His mom kept visiting until Blue Review told her to leave and not to come back. It upset us. They said she wasn't getting on with her life, but the way we all saw it, it was very therapeutic for her. She liked helping. Jimmy was gone, but she could help his friends. Then they forced her to leave. Blue Review had a policy for staff, don't get too close. Staff wasn't allowed to be our friends or go out with us on their days off. Don't get too close so when they die it won't hurt you. They wanted the staff to be professional and detached. Other than each other, the staff was our primary human contact. To us, it seemed like Blue Review wanted us alone. They wanted us without support. One other little girl, you can't remember her name, she had the cutest smile. Because a lot of kids with CP don't get enough nutrition, they don't grow. She was about 7, but the size of a 3-year-old. She was nonverbal, but she was just so cute. Copus and I both liked her. She liked it when you pushed her chair. We'd use our wheelchairs to push her